that concerted efforts are made to identify the potential negative impacts of this project and plan for their mitigation to be put in place. Based on my experiences and also in working in the Ministry of Environment on similar drilling projects, I urge this gathering to pay particular attention to issues such as flooding, decline in biodiversity. Our people need so whatever is done must not tamper with the biodiversity and the fishing capabilities of our people. Also land degradation, oil spill, waste management, as well as social, cultural, and gender-based issues must be looked into. These matters, if not properly handled, could create social upheavals and civil unrest. So these issues must be examined with the overall objective of making this project environmentally compliant. You would recall that the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development led to the adoption of Agenda 21 in Rio, a blueprint of environmental principles, policies, and actions required to be taken by all countries well into the 21st century. It was this declaration that brought out the repeated principles of polluter pays, cradle to grave, precautionary principles, etc. One of the most important articles in the Rio Declaration was the Principle 17, which states inter alia that environmental impact assessment as a national instrument shall be undertaken for proposed activities that are likely to have a significant adverse impact on the environment and are subject to a decision of the competent national authority. And that competent national authority being the Federal Ministry of Environment. The mandate of the Ministry of Environment is to ensure environmental protection, natural resources conservation, and sustainable development. And in achieving this, our mandate, the key legal instrument that we use is the Environmental Impact Assessment Act. This act enables the application of EIA as a planning tool to ward off environmental hazards and problems that may arise from development projects. At the execution of this project we're here today, it was observed that SEPCO did not obtain all the required regulatory permits before ever embarking on drilling at the site. This was a clear violation of Section 62 of the Environmental Impact Assessment Act. Consequent upon this, a stop work order dated the 6th of July 2020 was issued by the Ministry of Environment to SEPCO on the illegal activities. But beyond the stop work order, I want to state clearly here today that my ministry shall ensure that the full extent of the law is brought to bear on any erring party. Of note, however, in this stakeholders meeting, which is aimed at arbitrating and resolving the issues between the Anambra State government and Sterling Petroleum. As you heard the governor say, this meeting is sequel to an earlier meeting held between SEPCO, Anambra State government, at the offices of the Federal Ministry of Environment, where a communique was issued and signed by both parties towards a conducive working environment for development of oil and gas potential. I am particularly glad that the community concerned, the direct community concerned, are here to be represented. So it is my ardent hope and belief that the proceedings of this stakeholder meeting shall put forward far-reaching ideas and recommendations that will assist in making the proposed Amishi field development project to be executed to the highest level of environmental sustainability. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish you all a fruitful deliberation, but please let us all bring all the issues to the fore. Environmental degradation is not what we want for our land in Anambra. We all know what went on in the Niger Delta and is still going on in the Niger Delta. We do not want a repeat of such in our land, Anambra. So I thank you all for your attention, but please, I want us all to work together towards protecting our environment for the next generation.